Hi Junior 4, how are you? Today we are going to review words. We knew them. We used them also, like who, whose, which, that. But today we are not going to use them as question words like we knew them, WH questions. No. Today we are going to call them the relative pronouns. What are the relative pronouns? What are the nouns or the pronouns? We know the nouns: people, things, places, and animals. Pronouns, we knew that pronouns replace a noun. So the relative pronouns are also like the pronouns. They are replacing the noun, or they are talking about the noun. This is what we are going to learn today. Let's see. First, relative pronouns. They give more information about a noun. They give us more information about the noun, which means like the man who is in front of you is my teacher. So you can see the man. You don't know who the man is. I'm giving you more information about him. We don't use them with other pronouns. We don't use them with he, she, you, me, my. We don't use them with whatever a pronoun we have. They also link up to sentences. Like the conjunctions but, and, so. Next. They look like WH questions, but they aren't, like what I've just told you. They look like the WH questions, but with other usage here. They have got their own sentence. We call the sentence that comes after a relative pronoun a relative clause. Subject, verb, and objects. They depend on a word. These words comes immediately before them, like the sentence that I told you. The man who to ask about people, and who to talk about people. The man is a person. That's why we used who. So we depend on the word that comes immediately before our relative pronoun to use the relative pronoun correctly, the correct one. We cannot use which with people, of course, and we cannot use who with objects or animals. Next. We use them depending on the antecedent, and this antecedent, like what we've just said, the word that comes immediately before them. Here, the first relative pronoun, who. Who is used for people, of course. A dentist is a person who fixes our teeth. Who is our relative pronoun, and the antecedent, or the word that comes immediately before who, is a person. So we are talking about a person here. That's why we used who. Which is used for animals and objects or things. We use which to talk about animals, things, and objects. The letters is an object or a thing. Which are on the table are for Emma. Elephants are wild animals which live in the jungle. Which is the relative pronoun. Animals is the previous word before the relative pronoun. We have that. That is a little bit tricky, more than which and who, because we can use that for people, animals, and things. Don't worry, in the exam they will not come together. A dentist is a person that fixes our teeth. Remember, we put who here. Here we replaced it with that. Elephants are wild animals that live in the jungle. That, we used which here instead of that. The letters that are on the table are for Emma. We used that here, and remember, previously we used which. So we have here that we can use with people, animals, and things. Next, we have here whose is used for possession or ownership when someone owns something. Shakespeare was a famous writer whose plays became famous around the world. So we have here possession. We used whose for possession. So the owner here is Shakespeare. He owns the plays. So these plays belong to Shakespeare. We can use whose also with animals or with things, like when I say for example, the tree whose branches, for example, shade my kitten, is very big or very tall. So I'm talking about a tree. The tree is an object or a thing, about the tree branches. So we can use whose with things also. Relative clauses. Clauses here is a sentence that comes after the relative pronoun. This sentence include what? Include the information that follows the relative pronoun, and they are talking about the noun. So they give more information about a noun, person, place, object, idea, whatever the noun is in the sentence. We use them to identify the noun in the sentence, to give more information about the noun in the sentence. He's the man that scored the winning goal. If I stopped and said he is the man that, it's not a complete sentence, so you don't understand the purpose of the sentence. But when I say scored the winning goal, this is a relative clause. I'm giving you information about the man. I'm completing the sentence. So the relative pronoun here is that, and the relative clause scored the winning goal. The hotel, which is in front of the beach, is quite expensive. So I'm giving you more information about the hotel. This information is our relative clause, or the sentence that is talking or giving us the information about the noun. Relative clauses can begin with these words. Let's revise again what we have taken already. Who, person, for person or people. The woman who is in front of you is a teacher. Which, for objects, animals, things. The phone which is on the shelf is already broken. See, I'm giving you information. Whose indicates position, like what we said. The man whose wallet was stolen is very angry. That, objects, things, people, animals. The man that is in front of us talks too much. The door that doesn't work will be fixed tomorrow. So here we have a relative pronoun followed by the relative clause. If you have any questions, please ask me on Quick School. Love you all, and I'm here for any help. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much.